Good evening. Well, we've lots of action in tonight's programme, including a commuting race to the city centre from Blanchardstown here in Dublin. We also have the story of how a 1930s Air Corps plane found its way home. But we start with the life of an ambassador. Dublin is home to embassies and consulates of all the countries with which the Republic has diplomatic relations. Capital D has been talking to 3 ambassadors from across the world. And we start with our nearest neighbours, the British. From the diplomatic corps to something much more mundane, the daily commute. It takes chunks out of most people's day and is a frequent topic of conversation. We asked a motorist, a bus passenger and a cyclist to take part in an experiment for us. They had a race of sorts from here in Blanchardstown to Dame Street in the city centre. So here we are in Blanchardstown at the start of our experiment to look at different ways of commuting into the city centre. And I can tell you the summer is over, the temperature has dropped and it's time to get going. I'm joined now by our 3 participants for this little experiment. Our first participant is Aoife. Aoife, you normally take the train, but for our purposes this morning, you're going to go on the bus. Let's hope the bus lanes make a difference.
That's right, yeah. The train normally takes me about 40 to 50 minutes with the walk from the train station, so the bus will bring me a bit closer to work, so we'll compare the journey times.
Marianne, you're a committed car driver and you have the risk of road rage going in because of all the congestion. Friday morning it's going to be really busy.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I have to drive for work, so this list will show you what kind of congestion you sit in when you are going into the city in the car, and you can compare it with public transport to see which is quicker, really.
And Sean, you have already cycled here from Leixlip, but you're prepared to take the journey from Blanchardstown into the city centre. What are the aspects you'll be looking out for?
Well, we're fortunate enough that quite a lot of the route this morning is covered with bus lanes, so I'd be able to use the bus lanes. We'll be also using the Phoenix Park, which is quite scenic, so it's nice and to be able to cycle in that type of an environment. I'm looking forward to it.
And they're off. The finish line is the central bank, so let's see who's our fastest commuter.
We're just about to get the 39 bus and that'll bring us into the centre of town.
It's only a few minutes into the journey, but Sean's already opening up a good lead, while our motorist is predictably stuck in traffic.
So we haven't even travelled a mile yet. We've travelled about half a mile on the clock there, and it's taken us over 10 minutes.
Meanwhile, Aoife's discovering that the crowds aren't just on the bus. They're pushing into the bus lanes as well.
We left the bus stop about 13 minutes ago, and we've only got a couple of 100 yards, so it's been very busy. We have been in a bus lane for the majority of that time, but unfortunately, as all the other cars are there as well, we haven't made a lot of progress.
I do have the alternative of using the train, which is very close to my house. It's an excellent way of commuting. I like the fresh air and I like the exercise.
While Sean's enjoying his cycle through the Phoenix Park, we're 15 minutes into the race and the girls are finally on the move.
We might be over the worst now. There just seemed to be a problem there with the bus lanes, but here these bus lanes seem pretty clear, so maybe it was just an isolated problem.
You moan about it, but it's kind of nice. You're sort of in your own little bubble in the car, and it's comfortable, and like you've got your own heating and you've got your radio or your CDs or whatever, and it's nice, and I love my car.
We've just come up to Hanlon's Corner now and I've just got a seat, so it's the best thing all morning.
Sometimes, depending again on the weather, now I must say some mornings you'd say, yes, I'd love to be in the comfort of the car, but generally, no, I don't envy the task of commuting by car.
Well done, Sean. You're the first home. How long did it take you?
21 minutes, Anne.
What was the journey like in?
A very pleasant journey in. Encountered a bit of traffic congestion at Castleknock, where they don't have a designated cycle lane between Castleknock and the Phoenix Park. Otherwise, a very pleasant journey in.
Sean's reached the central bank in record time, but where are the other 2?
We're just on Queen Street now. So it's pretty much, it's full, it's all the way back. This can be a lot worse. Sometimes you can't even get around the corner and to get onto the street. It's said pretty average.
Well, we're in a bus lane now again, and we're going up along the quays. It makes a big difference to be in bus lanes when the cars aren't parked in them as well, because then it just slows everything down.
Thanks to a few empty bus lanes, Aoife does manage to cross the finish line just a couple of minutes ahead of Marianne. Well, Marianne, how did you do?
Well, it took me just over 55 minutes to get in, so a little bit longer than I expected, but average enough for most days of the week.
And what was the bus like for you, Aoife?
It took me just under an hour to get in, so I was a couple of minutes ahead of Marianne. It went fast enough, really. I was surprised that we got in that quick.
Well, you two girls are trailing massively behind our cyclist, Sean.
21 minutes.
Would either of you be inspired now to give up the car, Marianne, or the bus or train, Aoife?
No, I'm too lazy.
What about yourself, Aoife?
The train is more reliable. I think it does get you there faster, but after seeing how quick Sean got in a third of our time, I think I might give the bike a try.
So there you have it, the result of our little experiment. Not very scientific, but cycling is certainly the fastest way to get into the city centre from the outlying suburbs. So, on your bikes.